What's up, everyone? We're all 49ers. It's another roundtable, but it's 5 of us today, so it's kind of like a pentagon table. I'm Grant Cohn. Below me is Jose Sanchez. To his right is Maverick Pallack. Above him is Nick Newman, and the new guy, Tony Farmer. Top, middle. Tony, tell everyone where you're from and how you became a Niner fan.
Yeah, sure thing. So I'm from Norwich, Connecticut, birthplace of Benedict Arnold, kind of halfway between Boston and New York City. Growing up, my first introduction to football was actually Super Tecmo Bowl on regular Nintendo, if anybody knows that one. And for whatever reason, my brother and uncle were big Cowboys fans. And in the 90s, I just wanted to pick a team that I could give my brother and my uncle, just do the little trash talk thing. And the Steve Young, Troy Aikman days, Emmitt Smith, Jerry Rice, all that was really hot. So I picked the Niners and stuck with them.
So you're a troll at heart. You became a Niner fan to troll people.
Yes.
Hey, me too. Me too.
Absolutely.
Let's go from
Absolutely,
there.
for sure.
So that's great. Today is a trade deadline special. It's coming up in 2 weeks. The Niners don't know if they're buyers or sellers yet. They kind of need to see what they do the next 2 games. But news came out yesterday afternoon that Dante Pettis already is on the block. And my question is, have the Niners mismanaged his career, or is his failure something that Dante Pettis needs to take 100% ownership of? Tony, why don't you lead us off today?
Yeah, let's start with the special teams duties. First of all, there I say absolutely. The guy he's gotten some opportunities, obviously, to return punts, but I would argue he hasn't really gotten a good opportunity to consistently be in that role. How do you go from being that successful in college, literally one of, if not the most successful return guy in all of college, and then you get to the NFL level and don't really get those looks and those opportunities? And I hear the arguments that, he's not bulked up enough, he's too small to do it, all this stuff. But when you've had that level of success in college, and it's not like a Tim Tebow situation where it's the system that he's in. he caught the ball and he ran real fast and dodged a lot of guys and had success doing that. So I think that's some evidence there that that the 49ers have not had faith in Pettis for a while.
I'm putting myself in the middle. Nick, you're next. Good answer, Tony. That was a strong debut, but now you're on the left. What's up?
Yeah. To piggyback off of Tony, is Pettis as a returner at Washington, it seemed like a lot broke his way. Like, he didn't have to show off this crazy elusiveness on a lot of his punt returns, and for whatever reason, it just didn't translate to the NFL level. Talking about Dante Pettis, the wide receiver, it's just so puzzling to me. He has that phenomenal touchdown catch in his first game in the NFL against the Vikings. Then he gets hurt a couple games later against the Chargers, misses some time, comes back and just closes out his rookie season with Nick Mullins on a rapid pace, just completely on fire. And then whatever happened in that offseason throughout training camp, him ending up in Kyle Shanahan's doghouse. We talked about this last night, Grant, that Kyle Shanahan's most critical of Jimmy Garoppolo and Dante Pettis. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because they traded up for Dante Pettis and that move has not panned out. And it's almost like it's personal to Kyle Shanahan that his draft pick that he ended up trading up for did not pan out. So maybe it's something personal between Kyle Shanahan and Dante Pettis, where Dante Pettis made Kyle Shanahan look real, real bad in his ability to evaluate wide receivers. And he's been in the doghouse pretty in an unfair manner, in my opinion. So I do think his career has been mismanaged. It's been tough to watch because he's a guy that had a lot of potential. And we've seen it with Nick Mullins closing out his rookie year.
I do think it's kind of personal. You ruined my credibility to scout this position. It's not, I can scout it. It's your fault. There might be something to that, Maverick.
We were talking a little yesterday. It's kind of mean at this point. That's what we said yesterday is you just got to move on, cut bait. I think Dante Pettis is a really talented player, not necessarily second round pick talent level right now, but he's pretty much at the same standing where he was at Washington. He still has a lot of room to grow with, and I think it's just a type of thing. People keep comparing it to A.J. Jenkins, but this is not like A.J. Jenkins. Dante Pettis caught a ball. Dante Pettis caught passes that won games.
Yeah.
He just needs to change the scenery, and I think he'll get back on that second-round pick trajectory.
Yeah, I think he's been widely mistreated. Shanahan just too quick on the trigger on that one. It's like, how do you know what you have if just, You dropped one ball. You didn't do one thing right. Get back on the sideline. Like what? What are you doing, man? You invested high draft capital, and this is why the 49ers have that's wide receiver since Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch took over. They've invested the most draft capital at wide receiver than any other position. It's like wide receiver, then there's a gap, then it's like defensive line, and we all know how much they love that defensive line first round pick and just investing all around, including free agency. But yeah, I thought it was just way too quick, especially like from what we saw in training camp. Grant, I thought like, all right, well, he looked good. I think he was warranted. Sure, he didn't dive for the football, but it's not like many stars are diving for that football anyways against the Cardinals.
Right. Why
Why didn't you just roll him out there when you needed him? Deebo Samuel was out. It just doesn't make sense to me. Oh, it actually makes sense to me because, he's kind of petty like that. Kyle Petty Shanahan, that's what he is. It's going to be his nickname going forward with the way he is. So, I mean, it just didn't do him justice. Is Pettis like, was he a little bit of a reach? As I saw someone in the comments said, sure. But I mean, come on, you're not really doing him justice, not really giving him a well-balanced breakfast in terms of a game plan.
Well, I've never been a big Pettis guy. I didn't like the pick. When I saw him early in camp, I said, the guy can't go over the middle. I was always kind of betting against him, but it seems to me that what the Niners have worked hard to kill his trade value. Like usually teams try to build it up before they trade a guy. Like maybe we'll give him a token target, something, or get one of our favorite beat writers to say he's playing really well in practice, something. But like it's every week, the Niners are like, man, this guy's even worse. You don't even know. Like we're going to deactivate him this week. It's like, now you want to trade him? It just seems like, sure, maybe you're right that Dante Pettis is no good, but you couldn't have figured that out last year. You couldn't have traded him during training camp when everyone was writing like, hey, he looks pretty good. He's had a couple good games. I mean, and then you give him one target in the regular season, shut him down and say, who wants him? We got a great guy over here. We love him. We don't play him. But we want a 6th round pick. I mean, what can you realistically get for Dante Pettis right now? A late 7th? Like the 208th pick in the draft? Something like, I don't know. Nothing. So I just feel like, I mean, maybe they're right about him, but they totally mismanaged this. And they've taken a guy who maybe had some value a year or two ago and ruined him, and now they're trying to take him to like the pawn shop and be like, yo, can I get like 350? Come on, let me get 350.
I need about 350. I mean, look, they just got Jordan Willis of the Jets, who doesn't even have the concerns as Pettis has, and they had to give up a draft pick. So what do you think? You think Pettis it's gonna be way worse than that?